Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you another DPP Revival Invitational set. This is a round 2 winners bracket matchup between Starmaster and PDC. Both these players, Starmaster, a familiar face if you've been following ADV's invitational scene for a couple years now, or just the general competitive scene. Whereas, we got the ever venerable PDC. You guys know him. He's a narrator on our channel, also a fantastic player, and somebody who's currently the top seed in Classic Playoffs at the time I'm recording this. He is set to face off against 10 Degree Sight. Who knows, maybe I'll cover that series on my channel. But that said though, whoever wins here, it's going to be ideal because they get to skip around. Jump from round 2 to 4 due to how double elimination works, and also you don't want to be at the risk of being eliminated the next round, so winning's always nice here. Anyways, that said though, let's jump right into this. Skarm lead, Breloom lead. Interesting lead matchup here. We have a Breloom which could be Focus Sash with, like, maybe it's like 262 Breloom with like Taunt. The Skarmory could either be a offensive Skarm that's like 262 with like maybe Lumberry, and then could Brave Bird get around the Breloom if PDC is showing Scarp Breloom, or as like there's a couple ways this matchup can play out. If it's defensive and Starmaster wants to switch out, let's find out. Spores here, loses the speed tie. Focus Punch is here, Skarm's still asleep, so that tells me this is probably a fast Skarm, perhaps. Still asleep. Oh, Stun Spore's there, so PDC trying to catch Starmaster, switching out. Gets the Stealth Rocks up here. But the Breloom's gonna keep its Focus Sash. Latias is gonna trick here. Tricks the Choice Specs onto a Breloom. PDC does not want to stay in, so Starmaster bringing some kind of offense. And the Breloom, we don't know what PDC has in the back for sure. Scizor probably gonna get the Pursuit Trap off on his Latias. Will do just that. The Latias is gonna go down though, and Heatran's gonna be a follow-up. Doubles here, trying to catches the Tyranitar switch, so that's quite nice per Starmaster. And Donphan's gonna be real on PDC's end, so U-turns here, crits here into Infernape. That's gonna threaten. Yeah, this Infernape looks like an immense threat. PC should have like maybe a Rotom or a Latias or like something like that just to be able to deal with Infernape on this kind of team. So we're gonna find out what his follow-up is. His follow-up is Gyarados. So 12 turns in, Starmaster bringing what looks to be a double fire hyper offense, like Skarm hyper offense. This is a build that I believe Student of Sinnoh made for Groudon in SPL week 1 against Malekith. This is a pretty popular team. Basically what you have here is like Focus Sash Skarm with dual hazards, and then usually a Red Braver Icy Wind. Latias probably had Healing Wish, and then the double fire Proven Core. Basically you just want to overload your checks, and then Scizor is gonna be like the Pursuiter. I think the last for Starmaster on this team should be Rotom, like Scarf Rotom. That's normally stable at this team, so his last not hard to guess. Whereas for PDC, you got the Breloom plus Tyranitar plus Scizor, so you have like some kind of double pursuit action, perhaps, like double Trapper. And then you have like the Donphan and the Gira. The Gira could be defensive, could be just like a DD Gira. As for last year, I expect there to be normally I'd say there should be another like Spike View, but it could also be something like a Jirachee in the back. That is also plausible. That is a defensive Gira, so that Gyarados is going to be able to cripple the Rotom and gets the flinch, so that's a huge flinch there. As Starmaster is forced to swap out, sacrifice the Heatran. That was probably a Shukaberry Heatran. And then, yeah, Starmaster not too happy with that. Oh wow, that is... Yeah, this Gyarados did way more than it should have, and even PDC admits that this is absurd by his standards. And the Infernape should be able to wear it down with something like Grass Knot, but does not get it. And this Gyarados put in overtime just casually killed like or like cripple half of Starmaster's team. Starmaster's got forfeit, does not want to play this out. You know, Scissor's too crippled, the Rotom's paralyzed. Yeah, and PDC takes game 1. That was a ridiculous game. He said, yeah, lose taunt speed time to free turn sleep. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate because I think if Starmaster didn't get like an absurdly long sleep duration, then I think he could have at least crippled the Breloom, wore it down. But that did not work out. And then like you kind of see the issues. Like this is kind of one of the downsides of running these like HO builds is that if you run into a spinner, something like Donphan, I think, like, let's say a game plays out with relatively normal RNG, you also have to factor becomes like a positioning battle between these two. That's another way this game could have played out. Where, like, you know, it becomes more about, like, trying, like, for Starmaster, it could potentially be in something like positioning the Rota and the Latias to try to let the hazards wear down, like, Tyranitar, Scizor, like, trying to pivot into their checks. That kind of thing, because like normally those are like how the expected counterplay against something like a Rotom or like a Lati, so that's one way I think this game could potentially played out. Interestingly enough, and then also like the Donphan wanting to get the spin off too, right? So that's that. Let's go into game 2. Here we are, game 2. Gliscor lead, Rotom lead. So this is a lead matchup where we could be looking at a very long game here. Gliscor usually indicating some kind of bulky offense. Rotom could be split, could also just be defensive Rotom. Starmaster's got a U-turn out here into Clefable, so yeah, like I said, bulky offense slash stall. That's what you expect with Gliscor lead. Hippo is shown, so we are going to be in for a long one here. Stealth Rock's up here, both players getting rocks up. PDC should have a Clef in the back. I would also expect there to be a Latias, something like... I could even see a Registeel too, because I know PDC's been kind of on that Registeel train lately. And the Skarm showing lefties, we don't know what that is. Heatran is shown, okay, that's interesting. And the Heatran here looking to be a defensive Heatran, and oh, you have Starmie here, so... now this matchup becomes pretty interesting, despite the fact that this is a stall mirror, kinda. Because, like, for PC, it's gonna be getting the Rotom in, trying to block the spin attempts, but you also run into this problem where the Rotom is also gonna be worn down by hazard damage, unless this is Rest Rotom. But even with that factored in, the Clefable could just get a knockoff at any point. Oh no, it is a Calm Mind Clefable. So CM Clef versus opposing Clef, usually a little bit fishy. If you fight opposing CM Clef, then it becomes something of a stall war, or like a crit fishing war, sorry. And yeah, Starmaster heals up there, trying to not get too low, don't want to leave it to chance, right? Thunderbolt's their fault, floods into the Hippo, and it's revealed to be Flamethrower instead of Ice Beam. I think if this was... Oh, it's Obama stall, or like Obama BO. And it's an offensive Obama Snow, and crits the Hippo. So Starmaster taking some of that luck back, but that's huge, because that means that, you know, now Hail is going to be the primary permanent weather. However, one thing that can change is, unless Starmaster has a Tyranitar in the back, a double weather on these Gliscor, Skarm, Obama Snow structures makes sense. And Clefable is going to be pivoted into this Rotom. You obviously don't want to bring the Obama Snow in because of the fact that there was a chance for a crit there to get things out of hand, but... Hold on. Did it show lefties? Yeah, okay, so the lefties was knocked up. And, oh, huge crit there. But Starmaster accounted for that and is able to soft boil back up to full. No double crits here. Soft boils again. So, Starmaster doesn't really want to stay in here because the Gliscor risks getting, like, Wisp at any point, so you can't bring that in. And this Clefable looks immensely threatening because, like, unless this Clefable is Encore, which is one way I think PDC can get out of this, but we don't. Oh, it's Cosmic Power Clef. So Cosmic Power Clef can, you know, can definitely change some things in this matchup. Especially because Clefable's 4th move is actually very flexible. Because you normally run, like on these support clefs, you run Knock, Toss, Softball, and then last move can be like Encore, T-Wave, even something like Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, or even Cosmic Power in this case. So yeah, that just goes to show how versatile Clef can be. And then Gliscor is going to be sent out here. Oh, that's a really bad Will-O-Wisp miss there. Because if he got that off, then the Gliscor could have at least been on a permanent timer, or like losing health every turn. Yeah, that's very annoying for PDC. Will-O-Wisp here. That's an interesting decision. And then, yeah, don't forget, Starmaster has like full layers up, and oh, burns there. So that blocks the para, but this is looking very difficult for PDC to come back from. And then for Starmaster, what you should be looking for is a window to get the Abomasnow in, but sorry guys, I have a bit of a coughing fit, but really what you gotta be looking for here is a chance to get the Abomasnow in. Oh, that was not it. I think that was a bold attempt by Starmaster to kind of just try to get in, but oh, still gets the Focus Punch off, and that will take care of the Heatran at least. So Starmaster doing a pretty good job finding a way to get some mileage out of the Abomasnow. And Roserade is shown here. Oh, this might be, I feel like I've seen, this might be a variation of, oh no, I feel like, yeah, no, I don't think I've seen this particular 6 in a long time. Roserade's an interesting twist as like the spiker on these like stall teams, because as you know, Roserade not famed for its longevity, but man, this is looking really tough for PDC. But for Starmaster, I think letting that Jirachee get parried is gonna make it a lot harder for him to make significant progress, even though I think he's still a little bit favored in the long term. Because when you look at the rest of PDC's team, right, like you got T-Bolt, Flamethrower, you're still, like this laddie is still, can't really do much back. Roserade can't really do anything. PDC can try to like PP stall with like Cosmic Power, but again, like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna run into a problem of being forced to recover. So it's also a bit of a race against time. Like just trying to force Starmaster to run out of soft boils. I think, yeah, Starmaster, you gotta start attacking at some point. Like try to force PDC to, like, you know, get some, like, how do I put it? Like, basically, you need to force PDC to start wasting softball PPs. I think that's what you should be aiming for right now. If you can get a couple crits here and there, then I think you're in a even more fantastic spot. Opts to go Starmie here. I mean, I suppose fair enough. So, really, I think why Starmaster did that was more so to try and like conserve his Clefable late game, and then just try to outlast the Clefable. But like you have the Skarmory, which has only used up 2 Roost PP. You have the Starmie, which has used up some. And the other thing to remember is that the Jirachee might have Wish Protect as well. So like you have multiple yeah, like you see what he's kind of like what Starmaster's trying to do here. He's just trying to dance around this Cosmic Power Clefable. And that is something that is particularly dangerous for offensive teams to have to deal with. Very sorry, guys. E-Pulse is here. And the Starmie's got threatened to KO on the Rotom. Surf's here. Oh, this might be Surf Psychic Starmie, but we don't know for sure. Recovers again. Man, we're gonna be here for a while. Gets Reflect Up. Yeah, this is prototypical defensive Lottie. And you know, PDC, he is a guy that, you know, for those of you who don't know him, I mean, this guy was like kind of a demon in his prime, like when he was actively playing in SPL and all that, until he came back recently. Looks like he hasn't really lost a step at all, in general. But and this is a guy who had like 2 insane SPLs. I think he had like multiple like 6-3, 7-2 campaigns or something like that, and he was playing Oras at the time. So, you know, for those of you who don't know PC, he's like a guy who's just very well-rounded, very versatile player. He could play just about any gen you could probably ask him to play, but really he made his living in like ADV, in DPP, and Oras, like BW, all those tiers. He's been spending more time supporting nowadays, and yeah, as you can see, this Clefable is up to +4. And really what Starmaster is looking for is he needs a crit, because a crit could easily end the game. But Starmaster is also running low on softballs, doesn't really want to leave it to chance, right? So the other thing he's aiming for, unfortunately, Starmaster does not have a PP stall, or like a pressure poke that could like cut down the amount of PP that he has. And then sooner or later, PDC's probably gonna start throwing in a couple Cosmic Powers too, just to like play around the whole PP management thing. And man, yeah, I'm sorry, this is not the most exciting thing in the world, but. And then for Starmaster again, the big thing for him had, oh okay, finally switches out, but into Lottie, probably gonna recover here. But the big thing for Starmaster is that this is a guy who's had a lot of success as a player, for most would say, and I would agree with that assessment. But for Starmaster, the one thing I think he has always been looking for is that one really big major individual win, whether that's an invitational or like, you know, something like Smoking Classic, Smoking Tour. Like, this is a guy who regularly makes playoffs for these, and you know, most would probably say that Starmaster is due for one eventually. I mean, it took Soulwind a long time to win that individual, for example, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. And yeah, you know, we got more PB stalling action here. Geez, we could really be here for a while. And the other thing I would probably say is that, like, matchup-wise, I think, like, you know, this is a fantastic, like, this is, like, a very cool matchup, like, between two players who have been playing for a long time. And these are two guys who are probably somewhat familiar with each other, so, you know, they're familiar with each other's game, if you want to say that. Oh, that's a huge crit there. Into D-Pulse. And then the Rosary's effectively useless. If PDC shows the Rotom to be rest late in the game, I think that would be immensely huge, especially if he is going for the PP stall angle. And then, oh, this Jirachee was rest. So this is rest talk Jirachee. This is how some stall teams try to adapt to fighting Breloom. And on this team that, like, Starmaster's got, like, when you look at this team structure, it's like, Breloom can be extremely annoying because, like, this Gliscor may or may not have Ice Fang or, like, you know, Wing Attack or whatever, like, something to really slam Breloom. Like, this could U-turn, EQ, Roost. Yeah, it's probably just U-turn, EQ, Roost, Gliscor, so yeah, it's like something to keep in mind. Like, when you look at, like, SLD structures, like, you think about why would they run this? There's probably a reason. And then when you look at the 6 as a whole, you realize, oh man, like, Breloom will be really annoying. How would he deal with this? And Rest Talk Jirachee is one way to do it. I don't always think it's foolproof. Honestly, like I said, I'm surprised. I think this is, like, Surf plus Psychic or Surf plus Ice Beam. Maybe it's like Surf Psychic Starmie, because Gengar would also be a huge pain in the neck for this 6, even though you do have the Jirachee, but like the Jirachee is vulnerable to just getting RNG the crap out of. And then the Clefable doesn't take Focus Blast nearly as well. So this is just something to keep in mind. Flex here. Yeah, we are going to be here for a while. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, like just to... Yeah, so full powers there. U-turns. Flex, gonna expire soon. Starmie and the Jirachee can take these T-Waves all day. And then PDC wants to save this... Oh, finally gets the Clefable out, and... Yeah, Starmaster's kind of forced to recover a bunch here. And yeah, he's going... Starmaster's going to Starmie, try to make a PDC waste knockoff PP. And then the free layers of spikes. You kind of see the issue with not running a spinner on these kind of stall teams. Especially like the one that PDC has here, is that like when your opponent has like max hazard layers up, you can kind of see that like outside the Clefable, the rest of his team really vulnerable to hazards, besides the Rotom and the Laddie. But even that's taking Stealth Rock damage. Like the Heatran, Hippo, Rose, they're all taking like significant damage. Like each time they come in, and then like Rose in theory alleviates the T-Spike issues because Hippo does not like taking T-Spikes, even though that's the only thing that would be annoyed by it. So like I kind of get what PDC was going for here, like structurally. Heatran, I think it's like such an odd choice on these stall teams. Like maybe it's like, I don't even know what the Heatran set were. They only show Lava Purp, so this could be like Torment Tran. Oh, okay, finally shows Rest. Yeah, so I'm not surprised by that Rotom showing Rest, because like, again, this is like pretty bog standard, and then if it was like Subsplit, I think we would have shown it much sooner. So yeah, good on PDC to like kind of hold off for a long time on that, and gets the T-Bolt off on this Jirachee, trying to just Iron Head, Wisp. The Jirachee will probably be forced to rest again. Got rest here, doesn't get crit. A crit T-Bolt here could easily swing the game in PDC's favor, or, well, maybe not favor, but I could swing it back to a more neutral state. Wisp again. And while this is going on, like I said, if you guys want to donate to DPP Revival Invitational's prize pool, that would be fantastic. I would much appreciate that. If we can exceed $1,300 before the end of this tournament. The Fable is going to be sent in here. Not going to get the knockoff there. PC knows that. And oh, bold choice by Starmaster to stay there, because I think if he stayed in on that Rotom and say PC T-bolted in, that could make the game a lot trickier. But in these games like that, sometimes you do have to take that. Sometimes you have to make those odd plays, if you want to call it that. Slime's here, doesn't really do anything, and then like Iron Hit flinches. Like that's not really viable strat, because I think like the Rotom's too healthy is the main thing. So I think Starmaster's trying to hold off on that. And also just because like the odds are not really in Starmaster's favor long term. And got Cosmic Power up. And Starmaster trying to waste some PP. Jirachee eats up that Will-O-Wisp, but that doesn't really matter. You still have rest. And you still have like 10 rest PP. My Slime's here. Yeah, really, it's just trying to force the Rotom to rest again and all that jazz. Top's gonna be sent back here. Obviously Starmaster kind of weary about taking a knock here. I think if Sand was up, then maybe he'd feel a little more comfortable. U-turns here into Jirachee, Willis here. To be honest, I think Starmaster could have ended this game much sooner if he didn't let the Obama Snow get Will-O-Wisp by Rotom. Like much earlier in the game, because I think this Obama Snow actually had the potential to get insane mileage going. Thunderbolts here. Goes to the Clef. Burns the Will-Wisp PP. Yeah, so 8 Wisp PP, 8 T-Bolt PP, so Starmaster firmly ahead in this PP stall battle, if you want to call it that. Roost here, doesn't want to stay in on this Will-Wisp, probably gonna go to Jirachee. Oh, but gonna be forced to rest earlier than he would like. PDC's gonna need another one. He's also going to rest here. Goes nothing here. T-Bolts again. Gonna go into Clef and... oh boy. Knocks off here. Gliscor's gonna stay healthy. Once again, his goal is to just make PDC waste any meaningful PP with the Rotom. And then, yeah, the Clefable is running low as well. But even with the Clefable being immune to hazard damage, everything else has to eat Stealth Rock, has to pay the Stealth Rock attacks, if you want to call it that. Man, that's a nice term. I'm keeping that, the Stealth Rock attacks. Yeah, and or the hazard tax. Yeah, I think that's the one. I'm calling it that. You know, like, it's funny. Yeah, because think about it, like, if the Moltres is paying a 50% hazard tax or a Stealth Rock tax, would go crazy. U-turns here into Jirachee, and then the hail damage really just wearing this Latias down. Rotom going to eat up the hazard tax, mostly just Stealth Rock tax, you know, not too bad, just an 11%, 12% cut. Wakes up here, gonna get the rest off, halfway through the rest PP, goes to the Clef. PC does have the Rosary, but the Rosary is kind of useless, and it's just going to be glorified fodder. Man, really running low on rest. And then Softwell PP, he is down to 2. Combine's up here. Gliscor's gonna be sent out, trying to bait Seismic Toss PP. They'll be forced to roost up here, though, into Latias. Crit U-turn to full para could easily swing this, could easily seal it. Gets 24% here. Gets the full para, so Starmaster finally getting that. This might be his chance to break through. And switching out there. Oh, I'm not sure if that was it. I think PDC might have been forced to risk it. T-Bolt's here dealing decent damage to Clefable. Latias is going to be sent out here. And our full para could easily just steal the game, I think. Full paras again. I think that might do it. Because PDC has no way to clear the hazards up, so that Latias is almost certainly dead unless something on Starmaster's team gets KO'd, or one of his pokes gets KO'd. Rest here. Body slams again. Knocks off here. Into a Rotom. Stealth Rocks. Starmaster just try to waste some PP here. Goes into Jirachee. Does not get a crit there. Rests up here. Starmaster obviously doesn't want to take the Knockoff damage. Roost up. Size toss. Yeah, now he's in the single digits. He's getting real low. Cosmic Power's here, so he has... Yeah, he does not have a ton of PP. Rodin was swapped out into Jirachee. Go rest here. Both players try to conserve their sleep top PP a little bit. And the score's gonna be sent out. Roost up again. Yeah, so I believe that's 7 Seismic Toss PPs left now. U-turns out here. Starmie's gotta be sent out. Again, I think PDC does not have a real shot at winning this game anymore. Recovers here. If you have Psychic, you better show it now. What do you know he does? And PDC's gonna concede. He's gonna say GG. So Starmaster takes game 2. And a 270 turn grinder, to say the least. Although that said, I think Starmaster could have probably won this game much sooner if he didn't let the Obama Snow get burnt earlier in the game. But he was able to keep his composure, able to path out his, carve out his win path, and then the Latias is effectively dead. Like, you're playing like 2v5, that's gonna be hard to overcome. And that said though, let's go into game 3. Hero of game 3. Dragon Knight lead. Jirachee lead. Interesting lead matchup here. D-Knight could easily just Fire Blast into the Jirachee. Jirachee usually, it should probably just U-turn here. Maybe it has Ice Punch or something, but I highly doubt that. Could also cripple the D-Knight. We're gonna find out soon enough. Just tricks turn 1 here. And eats a Fire Blast into Gyarados. So PC bringing maybe an offense or... Oh no, he's bringing a defensive team again. Stealth Rocks up here to Metagross. Shows a Starmie into a substitute Gira. So this might be sub DD Gira. And that's an offensive Starmie, but luckily can recover. Registeel is shown here into Metagross. That's gonna threaten it with Earthquake. Does 45%, so Registeel, a bit of an unusual poke to see in this metagame, but the Starmie is gonna be sent in, takes significant damage here. Probably gonna recover here, and then if you're Starmaster, you're probably just gonna crunch here. Yep, that exactly happens. PC probably okay with taking that trade, but Mamoswine is shown here. EQs the Taratar. 11 turns in. So PC bring out 2 Pokemon that you don't see often in this metagame. Registeel and Mamoswine. Mamoswine is actually a forgotten threat because Mamoswine used to be much more common in the Salamence era of DPP for obvious reasons. But over time, it kind of fell out of favor for a while because of the fact that, one, like, hazards were a huge problem, not having a reliable way to deal with Skarmory, Clefable to an extent, and also, like, Infernape's comeback in recent years also kind of made it hard for it to thrive in this environment, and, like, stuff like T-Spikes, all that. So that's kind of what's made it hard for Mamoswine to thrive in Gen 4 specifically, but the Scar matchup in particular was always an issue. And then Registeel, this is just like a alternative steel type that's just extremely bulky, extremely resilient, can like just annoy the crap out of you, and it actually does surprisingly okay into Jirachee, just due to like high defenses. And Jirachee's gonna dodge the pump there, but Starmaster should still land this. Oh, just gotta opt a rapid spin here. Eats up a T-Wave. And don't forget, PDC has Life Orb equipped at the moment. So he's gonna lose health if he attacks, but Fire Punches again. And Jirachee's gonna go down with its next attack, does not get full parry there. And PDC more than okay with just trading the Jirachee for the Megro, so it's a 4-4 game. Oh, and there's an Infernape, and yeah, this is the exact issue I was talking about, like, that you run into. This is partly why Mammal had such a hard time, but that's a Life Orb Infernape. If this shows Grass Knot, he is in trouble. But D-Knight's gonna be sent out here. And D-Knight is obviously choice locked, and it's going to just extreme speed here. Sand damage will take care of the Gyarados. And the D-Knight being choice locked is going to be a problem if this shows sub, which it does. So PC with a bit of an odd structure, odd team if you want to call it that. And the Gengar will take this D-Knight out. And I think Starmaster is doing this because he does not want to take any chances with the D-Knight. Go Latias here, interesting. Draco Meteor's here just to force the Gengar to break the sub. I would have just subbed again, probably, but we don't know what the set was exactly. Starmie shows up here into a Mamoswine. Gonna eat up this Hydro Pump. And PC could salvage this with like a T-Wave on the Registeel. T-Wave's here. If Starmaster doubles Infernape and then the Registeel T-Waves again, then he might just win the game. Or, okay, so he's gonna get a significant advantage here, but Mach Punch could still do a lot. Does not get the hacks he was looking for. And he's gonna need he's gonna need like full pair. Oh man, he does not have that. So Starmaster is gonna seal this game, and Starmaster is gonna take this series 2-1. So that was quite a messy game 3, because PC actually had a way to win. Like, he made the right play being able to catch the Infernape with the Thunder Wave on the Registeel. But he kind of needed some full pairs to go his way, and then the sub Gengar, that was like another opportunity for a PDC to try and steal the game from Starmaster. And then in hindsight, I don't know if for Starmaster if E-speeding into the Gengar was the ideal play, but I think in that scenario, this was just an issue of Starmaster didn't really have anything better to handle the Gengar, so like looking at his team, it was like the Infernape gets to a KO, the Starmie certainly can't take one, and you need to revenge it, and then you have the Lati. But yeah, and then yeah, this was kind of the issue I was talking about, like PC's team potentially having against like Infernape, because Infernape commonly paired with Tyranitar, and it was good on Starmaster to be able to kind of hide the Infernape until later in the game. So, you know, that was pretty good on him, and you know, I thought that was a pretty cool series. All things considered, you know, we saw some pretty cool picks, and yeah, so Starmaster's going to stay in winner's bracket. PC's gonna be sent down to loser's bracket. He's gonna have to fight for his life in round 3. That said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and consider donating to DPP Revival Invitational's prize pool. That said though, I will see you guys next time.